Well, my name is IRSARA. I'm an Italian London-based jeweler, and I'm exhibiting for the second time here at the Goldsmiths Fair, which is, I think, is a very extraordinary and exciting place to be. I'm an architect. I've been trained as an architect. I studied in Venice, and I'm still working as an architect, and I think that's very strongly shown in my work. It's the same way of thinking, I think. It's, of course, a completely different scale, but the approach, the thinking, the sequence is kind of the same. Luckily, you get more satisfaction out of the jewellery to some point because it's just, you get the result much quicker. I just use different metamorphoses, which I apply on the circle, the square, the triangle. So it starts very simply. And then I pull it, I extrude it, I cut it, I put it back together. And with this way, I think that I create a dynamic, not only in the composition of the piece itself, but really also a dynamic in the piece. It moves, it has lots of hinges. It really follows the person that's wearing it. You breathe life into them when you wear them. If you have them there on your own, they're like little sculptures, like little worlds in itself, and then when you put them on yourself, they move and they follow you, and sometimes they even annoy you, but that's exactly what I want. I call like my pieces like the arrogant pieces, because like they stick out and they have a little name and a little voice as well for them. I work mainly in gold and silver, and I have various techniques which comes from micromosaic or like with niello, and I try to bring also some color to the very simple and formal shapes that I have. I try to combine the preciousness of the metal with the color and playfulness and non-preciousness of other materials that I bring in. Of course, I always try to start from a piece that I've done and then just evolve and continue, understand what works, what doesn't work. My latest collection has become very versatile, very flexible, much more fun. I'm trying to achieve sophistication through playfulness. I want my pieces, as I mentioned, to be very playful. And in the latest pieces, I've just gone bigger, gone bolder, and more colorful. And you can, for example, wear the same necklace in 4 different ways, which is, I think, quite a good deal. So one is showing the repetitive same circle to the outside. Then it has the surprise of the color and of the depth, which is flocking on the inside. Because it's all made of little hinges, it can be literally turned around, which then makes it more of a choker sitting on the neck. And then again, it can be turned the other way around. Absolutely everything manual. I use enough the computers in my architectural work, so this is really important for me to have something that I do with my hands. I've also created this way of thinking of the intelligent hand that I make through thinking, and very often I get somewhere while I make it. It starts with a thought, and that changes. You get kind of directed by the metal, which can be very moody sometimes. It's, of course, before the fair, you have already a lot of press, which was brilliant. I had a lot of international press from Vogue Russia to even the Financial Times. The same thing happened this year, and you just start, your name starts to be known. You start to build up kind of a reputation, hopefully a good one, and people just remember you, they see you, and they get familiar with the pieces, they can understand what your new pieces are, and they see an evolution of your work.